2026 will be the year. I don't know about you, but I didn't really love or hate this past 2025. That's why I'm taking the last 24 hours of this past year to prepare for an even better new year. So follow along and I'll show you exactly how to do so. But before we begin, make sure to grab a notebook and follow me both here on YouTube and also on TikTok. Starting off, we first need to reflect back on this past year and just note some of the most memorable things that happened. So I really like to use my journal for this, and how you can use your journal is basically just separate it into a few sections, such as the happiest moments, the worst moments, and things that you either want to leave behind or bring into the new year. And the last section that I thought was extremely important was to just choose one word or a short phrase that you think would capture the entire past year. So for example, my phrase was chaotic yet peaceful, and it really does not have to be too long. It can be short bullet points like mine, and this is just to capture the most important parts of 2025. Okay, now that we have written down everything of our past year and reflected, we can go on to step 2. This next step is going to be to create a vision board, and normally I would love to create a physical vision board where I would print out pictures, but since this is a 24-hour rebrand, we're just gonna use Pinterest because Pinterest has some super aesthetic pictures and we can just create a vision board on there. And your vision board can have literally anything that you want to happen in the next year or you're manifesting. So you can see on mine, I literally just added anything that I thought was important, as well as quotes that I thought would be empowering and just motivate me throughout the year. And you can also continue to grow this vision board throughout the year. So it definitely does not have to be something that you just create now and never look back on. But if you wanted to create a real life vision board, of course you could definitely do that. And that is actually even better, as you can just hang it up in your room and look at it whenever you need motivation. Now for step 3, we're actually going to start setting goals. And this is not going to be the same goals as the New Year's resolutions that happen every year but actually never get done. Instead, we're going to pick just one word that we want to be the focus of 2026, and we're going to kind of create a mind map from it. And this is really similar to how we picked one word that sums up 2025, but instead we're going to start it at the beginning of the year. This way, throughout your year, you can just focus on that word that is super positive and will remind you of the goals that you are trying to achieve. On my journal, I wrote things that that word was associated with, and also just things that are negative that I don't want to be associated with that word. And this method is much better than just having a whole list of New Year's resolution goals that you might not even remember throughout the year. Okay, we've gone through a lot of good tips, so if you guys are still here, drop a comment down below with anything that you are hoping will happen in 2026. Now, we all know that the physical environment around us really impacts how our mental health is, so we need to declutter the environment around us. And some really good examples of this could be just organizing your room, your closet, and also organizing your phone and your iPad, because these are things that constantly surround us all the time. But also you could do a mental refresh, such as journaling like we kind of already started, but you could just get into the habit of doing daily journal prompts and just writing about your day every day to just kind of clear your headspace. Personally, one that I would especially focus on is reorganizing my iPad, because I use this all the time for school and just in my daily life. So if I keep my iPad neat, then I will feel more put together overall. Okay, now moving on to our last step, which is actually implementing everything into our daily life. So we're going to slowly do this by incorporating one good habit per day. So for example, one thing that I would do is no phone when I wake up for at least 30 minutes, because I really have a problem of doom scrolling, and it's just really not a good habit to be having as soon as I wake up. So this is one that I'll definitely be doing on day 1 of the new year. And once again, make sure to subscribe to me here on YouTube, as this actually was one of my goals for the new year, because I really want to continue growing my content making journey, and also follow me on TikTok. Okay, bye guys, and I hope you have the best 2026 ever.